Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Curse of Oak Island preview. There's a new discovery in the swamp as Rick investigates Templar Knights in Italy. We're approaching the end of Season 10 on the Curse of Oak Island, and things are really starting to heat up as there's a brand new discovery in the swamp. And the guys are also continuing their investigations in Italy as the evidence of a Templar Knight's voyage to the island continues to mount. This week's episode is called The Italian Job, a reference to the classic 1969 Michael Caine movie of the same name, and we'll see Rick and Alex Lagina, Peter Fornetti, and Doug Crowell continue their Italian adventure. Last week, the guys explored some ancient underground caverns beneath two medieval towns, where they came across various Templar-related symbols and carvings, symbols they had previously encountered in Nova Scotia. This helped add to the theory that members of the medieval order of Templar Knights may have buried treasures and ancient Christian relics on Oak Island. They also spoke to Adriano Gaspani, an expert in archaeoastronomy, who specializes in dating ancient stone structures depending on how they align with the stars. Somewhat incredibly, he suggested Nolan's cross dates back to 1200 AD. This week, the guys will be chatting with another expert, this one specializing in archaeology. A trailer shows Rick and Alex open-mouthed and in shock as they're told a couple of artifacts could be 1,000 years old. These artifacts appear to be the Roman coin and token found by the guys earlier this season on Lot 5. There's a new discovery at the Oak Island swamp. Meanwhile, back on Oak Island, Billy Gerhardt and the guys are continuing to excavate the mysterious swamp area. They are convinced they've found a ramp connecting the 800-year-old paved area to the stone roadway. We're unsure of the details, but viewers can expect to see a brand new discovery tonight. It could be connected to the existing stone structures, or maybe they've finally located the ship thought to be buried beneath the swampy water. Or it could be a completely new discovery. The above exploits are all confirmed in the History Channel synopsis for the episode, which reads, "Also, on tonight's episode, the Dumo mining coming will finally reach the bottom of the garden shaft. After months of anticipation, the team will finally be able to start exploring the money pit area from underground. Marty Lagina finally gets to the bottom of the garden shaft." A trailer shows an excited Marty Lagina heading down the shaft to examine the bottom. He's hopeful that the team can finally make a breakthrough, stating, "We're very close to the actual treasure of the money pit." We can also expect to see the archaeologists doing more work on the strange circular stone feature on Lot 5. This structure has really piqued the interest of the guys since they learned it has the same dimensions as the original money pit. Tonight, geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner is drafted in to investigate. As the mist rolled in from the Atlantic, Oak Island seemed to hold its breath. The trees swayed gently, whispering secrets that had been buried for centuries. This tiny island off the coast of Nova Scotia had been the subject of countless legends, each one more tantalizing than the last. And now, as dawn broke, casting an eerie light over the swamp, a new chapter in the island's mysterious saga was about to unfold. Rick Lagina stood at the edge of the swamp, his eyes scanning the murky water. For years, he and his team had been searching for the fabled treasure rumored to be hidden on Oak Island. They had endured setbacks, disappointments, and the relentless skepticism of the outside world. Yet Rick's determination never wavered. Today, that determination seemed on the brink of reward. The swamp, long a source of frustration and intrigue, had yielded a discovery that promised to change everything. The team had found a stone pathway submerged beneath the swamp's surface, a pathway that seemed far too deliberate to be a natural formation. As they carefully excavated the site, more stones appeared, each one meticulously placed. The implications were staggering. Who had built this pathway? And where did it lead? Rick's thoughts were interrupted by the arrival of his brother, Marty. The two had embarked on this journey together, their bond growing stronger with each twist and turn of the quest. "Anything new?" Marty asked, his voice a mix of hope and caution. Rick nodded, pointing to a section of the pathway that had just been uncovered. "Look at this. The stones are too uniform, too precise. Someone built this for a reason." Marty knelt beside the pathway, running his fingers over the ancient stones. "The question is, who and why?" As the team continued their work, Rick's mind wandered to the Templar Knights. The legendary order had long been linked to Oak Island, their supposed treasure troves hidden away from prying eyes. The pathway's discovery had rekindled Rick's interest in the Templar connection, and he had recently returned from a trip to Italy, where he had delved into the order's enigmatic history. In Italy, Rick had explored ancient Templar sites, hoping to find clues that might link the Knights to Oak Island. One particular encounter had stood out: a visit to a remote village in Tuscany, where he met an elderly historian named Marco. Marco had spent his life studying the Templars, and his knowledge was unparalleled. "You seek the truth about the Templars, yes?" Marco had asked, his eyes twinkling with a mix of wisdom and mischief. "Yes," Rick replied. "I believe they may have come to Oak Island. There are too many coincidences, too many signs." Marco had nodded thoughtfully. The Templars were masters of secrecy. They hid their treasures and their knowledge, but they left clues for those who know where to look. "Perhaps you are on the right path." Marco had shown Rick an ancient manuscript, its pages filled with cryptic symbols and diagrams. One drawing, in particular, had caught Rick's eye, a map that bore an uncanny resemblance to Oak Island. Marco had explained that the map depicted a Templar stronghold, a place where the Knights had hidden their most precious artifacts. "You see this symbol?" Marco had pointed to a small emblem in the corner of the map. "It is the mark of the Templars. If you find this on Oak Island, you will have your proof." Rick had returned to Oak Island with renewed determination, and now, standing by the swamp, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was on the verge of a monumental discovery. The pathway, the map, the Templar connection, it all seemed to be converging. The team continued to excavate, revealing more of the stone pathway. Suddenly, one of the workers called out, "Rick, Marty, you need to see this." Rick and Marty hurried over, their hearts pounding. The worker had uncovered a small, intricately carved stone, unlike anything they had seen before. Rick's breath caught in his throat as he recognized the symbol etched into the stone, the same emblem Marco had shown him in Italy. "It's the Templar mark," Rick whispered, his voice filled with awe. Marty stared at the stone, a mixture of disbelief and excitement on his face. Could this really be it? The proof we've been searching for? Rick nodded, his mind racing. "It's more than that. It's a message. The Templars were here, and they left this as a sign." The discovery sent ripples of excitement through the team. They knew they were on the brink of something extraordinary. As they continued to unearth the pathway, more clues began to emerge: fragments of pottery, ancient tools, and what appeared to be remnants of a wooden structure. Each find added to the growing evidence that the Templars had not only visited Oak Island, but had left behind a hidden cache of treasures. The pathway seemed to lead toward the heart of the island, and Rick was convinced that they were on the right track.